The question that comes up a lot to us at Insomniac Games is, are you going to make a Wolverine game that is as violent, as visceral as the character in the comic?
Welcome to Between the Joysticks. Press start and then we're off. Nick and Jon, they've got the sauce. Breaking news and some hot takes. Even if there's some mistakes, Nick is captaining the ship, while Jon gives thoughts straight from the hip. But when their powers combine, we're all in for a hell of a time. Between the Joysticks, it's the best. Up to 6 things they will address. Tell all your friends and settle in. Between the Joysticks now begins.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 163 of the video game podcast Between the Joysticks. On this episode, 2025 is in the rearview mirror. We are now looking ahead to 2026. What are our most anticipated games for the year? What are our predictions for the year? You'll find out very shortly. All that and much more on this episode. I'm your host, Nick, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jon.
Hi.
Jon, I want to start with, it's a new year.
Yes, happy 2026. Off to such a good start.
I don't know if you're joking there, but you probably are.
Just pick any. Just pick anything. It's fine.
But I'm going to use this opportunity. Like I said, new year. We've been doing this show for a while. It's been a minute. What if someone just started listening to this episode? How would you introduce yourself? What kind of person are you?
I am an extraction shooter lover.
Yeah,
who only plays things like Arc Raiders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit teaser of something I'll want to talk about later. But is this a serious question, or are you looking for me to...
This is a serious question, yeah.
All right, good. I was making sure. We are...
Arc Raiders player, go on.
Yeah,
go on.
Nick and I,
He's not joking, by the way.
No, I'm not joking.
He is an Arc Raiders
player.
player.
We'll get there. We'll get there, Nick. Cool your jets. I know you're ready to jump down my throat about it. Between the Joysticks, we are just two friends that met through work about 5-6 years ago now, who found a joint interest in not only playing video games, but like actually kind of analyzing the industry and being aware of what developers are working on what and the big players. And that just kind of created an immediate friendship that we transformed into a show where we get to just do what we do at work anyway and talk about video games into this. Primarily, we like single player games historically, but as my little joke there might have teased, things change a little bit as we move on. But we're just two guys, man, that don't get paid to do this. That we're in it for the love of the game, and we take it chill. We're not serious about this on the level of we're not trying to make money. We're just, again, love of the game type stuff.
It'd be nice to make money.
It would be so nice to make money.
But for now, it's just a fan podcast, a podcast without access, without we don't get codes or anything. We spend our own real money on games. And
I'll say we are PlayStation first, typically. For a long period of time, this show was called PlayStation Pals. And we transitioned it to Between the Joysticks to kind of hopefully maybe get a larger audience. What we found is that didn't really do that. People still are primarily PlayStation people here, but we welcome anybody and everybody. The only thing I'll say is if you're a person, not to alienate anybody, but if you're like, I love Call of Duty and free-to-play games, this is not the show for you. Or sports games. Those are kind of the only things we stay away from. But
well, we'll see. Yeah. Again, a lot of big teases. Jon's, he's expanding into genres we never thought I'd see.
The shotgun approach is wild, man. You never know.
Well, then, just continuing from last week, your son having a PlayStation has led to Jon exploring his gaming taste, and it is true. He's playing Arc Raiders.
I'm trying to be a good dad.
Yeah. That trumps your gaming taste. So
yes.
Good for you. You're a good dad.
Thanks. Just inundating my son with screen time and video games in bright colors. It's perfect.
All right. Yeah, I think you did a good job there.
Thanks.
I think you introduced us pretty well there. And then my next question. I know. We talked a little last week, but do you have a gaming resolution for 2026?
Not ironclad or written down. I mean, but if I were to pick one, short of the obvious, I'm just going to try everything, like Arc Raiders and whatnot, I found a lot of enjoyment, and I've this type of stuff comes and goes, so please don't hold me to this if I fail very quickly. But
Writing it down.
just getting through the games I start, that's part of the reason, you kept commenting. The end of last year, I kind of went on a little platinum craze, / just playing a lot of different games. And I think
Did you have like 84 last year? That you
games played,
Yeah.
started, yeah, yep. But
So you're at,
and,
like,
and so a lot of the
fourth.
times of that, it can kind of bite me in the ass. I spend money needlessly and things like that. But actually sitting down and giving games like 1,000 Times Resist, like that was a game that I started and I go, ooh, I don't know if this is for me. But I really just decided, like, every night when I was sitting down to play a game, even if it wasn't maybe like top of the mind what I wanted to play, I'd rather play, I don't know, Rocket League with my friend or something. I was like, no, like let's see this through, and I did. And if you listen to the couple podcasts ago, I gush about it. And so maybe just, when something is, give things more of a fair shake.
Yeah.
Is a good one. Like Eliza P was a thing I feel bad about last year, where it's like I really enjoyed it, but I played it for like 3 hours and then just stopped for some reason.
Right.
And so stopping that kind of stuff, I guess.
Yeah, the other side of your shotgun approach,
Right.
is and I feel you as someone who's trying to start a big game. I'm only like a couple hours into each of the big games I want to play, and I hear you. It's like you got to commit a little bit more time, let it really sink its teeth into you and see what it's really all about.
It's also, though, I would be loath to say that it also depends entirely on your mood. I'm in a video game playing mood, so that helps. Nick's not. You can't really force through that. Don't
Right.
force yourself to play games.
I'm gonna try.
Just to do it. But just understanding that, like, I bought and started this for a reason.
Right.
Let's
Of
do
course. Okay. Yeah, and I'm in the same kind of boat. I don't really have any gaming resolutions. I play games enough as it is. And if I had like I stopped playing Marvel Rivals, but I know if I was still playing it, my goal would be to stop playing it and stop playing endless games.
We'll see, buddy. What movie trailer just dropped?
Avengers Doomsday,
Yeah. Who was showcased?
Cyclops.
Yep. Who might
Beautiful.
come to Marvel Rivals?
Almost guaranteed.
Yep. So we'll see.
He's already in the trailer that teased Rogue and Gambit, so it's only a matter of time.
Will you admit right now that when Cyclops drops, you're at least booting up?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you'll
100%.
admit that. All right. Good.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals is doing this incredible cadence of a character a month, so that's insane. And but the first two of this month have been this year have been determined. But yeah, going forward, it's always something I'll keep an eye on. But
Cool.
But yeah, I play less of those games as you're ramping up those games.
Yeah.
Because they don't end, and I feel like that's time wasted sometimes. Especially if you're playing by yourself. I understand social time, like with your son or with your friends. Like I will play Marvel Rivals if my friends wanted me to play, but I won't play by myself.
Yeah. I'll save it for the Arc Raiders conversation, but I still haven't really gotten Levi into that one yet. So trying to make sure I understand it first, so that whenever we do play it, and he has questions, I have answers.
Right.
Because a little kid doesn't have a lot of patience for not understanding things and then not getting an answer from a grown up when they want it.
Right.
Well, I don't like this then.
Right. Let's go back to the comfort food.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's all I really got here, so if you want to get into the show, we can.
This will probably be a meaty one. So yeah.
All right, let's get into the show. This is how the show works. John and I can both bring up to 3 things to talk about for a total of 6 things. It doesn't necessarily have to be 6, but that's our limit, so we don't talk forever, and we still do anyway. What?
I have to just say, if you've seen The Chair Company, the way you said limit, just it got
The
to
show
me.
is at its limit.
It's at its limit. Sorry.
But those 6 things can be anything. It can be a video game we're playing. It can be a news item. It can be a topic. But it can also be from you, the listener. You can reach out to us. BetweenTheJoysticks@gmail.com is our email address. Our Twitter account is @JoysticksPod. And our YouTube page is @BetweenTheJoysticks. You can do any of those things, and you'll be read on this very show. So let's get into it. We've talked about this a lot all of last year, is how stacked 2026 is. And as we get into our most anticipated games, I think that's going to be that message is going to come across pretty clearly of how ridiculous 2026 is looking. I mean, we're heading into technically it's the 5th year of the PlayStation and Xbox consoles and the first full year of the Switch 2. And I imagine they're all just going to bring it and all the third-party publishers as well, as they are, very used to this hardware now, that we're going to see the cream of the crop rise. So I don't know how you did yours, but last year we did day one and maybe. Did you break yours down like that or not this time?
I ranked it so I can easily do day one or maybe.
You don't have to. That's fine.
I can spur of the moment this one. Yeah, we're good.
All right, and there'll be some crossover, of course, between both of our lists. But I did divide mine by day one and maybe, and I'll just get this out of the way. I have a bunch of games that I had on my most anticipated list last year, and they're back because they got pushed out. Those games being Grand Theft Auto 6, Judas, Hades 2, Mixtape, and Fable. I really don't have anything to add to those. They're known quantities at this point.
Yep, so I will just say Hades 2 is a boondoggle, obviously. Wolverine is a boondoggle, obviously. And Judas,
I didn't mention Wolverine, but sure.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, sorry. What did you say? Grand Theft Auto, Judas,
Hades 2, Mixtape, and Fable.
Oh, okay. Well, I will add Wolverine back on so we can talk about it. But Judas is on my list as well. I just hope it comes out.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are all pretty big games. And I'm excited to see more of them. I mean, Hades 2 just needs a PlayStation release.
Doesn't need much.
All we really want here. But yeah, unless you have something you want to say about those games, we can just put them in our rear view mirror because we talked about them a year ago.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6, not on my list. I mean, I don't need to say
anything. And again, once there's more news about these games, we're going to talk about them this year. So, because they're highly on our radar.
No, I don't want to talk about Wolverine again until it's released.
No, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it right now because, again, Wolverine was not on our list last year. It did not have, it was announced years ago, but we hadn't seen it. But now we have seen it, and it is expected this year. And it is on my list, of course. I mean, again, the lead into this, Cyclops, X-Men, love them so much.
The year of the X-Men, man.
One of my favorite developers of all time, Insomniac, responsible for Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, the third-person shooter I forget.
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. Just one of the top-tier developers tackling this project. I mean, it's up there. It'd be number one if it wasn't for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the world that's into video games that isn't at least like side-eyeing this one. It's one of those ubiquitous releases that's going to capture a lot of attention. It's going to get good reviews. It's going to be played by every single person. It'll just be interesting to see, does this have the same level of impact as Spider-Man? Wolverine is a very popular comic book character, but Spider-Man is arguably the most popular comic book character. So, like my son, right? Like he was into Spider-Man, so, does this capture a younger generation as well? But you also got the violence angle of this game as well. So it could be interesting. What I'm hoping for, I mean, just to kind of have maybe something to bounce off of on later when we talk about this game, but can Insomniac deliver a truly great story? Because I think the game, Insomniac's claim to fame is their gameplay. Their gameplay is always top tier. It's fun. It's arcadey. It's exactly what you would want from a superhero developer. But when I think of the stories that Insomniac has told in the past, Spider-Man 1 is probably the best one. Probably, and even for me, and I'm not a superhero guy, it was good, it wasn't great. So I hope that with Wolverine being a more adult story, violence is increased, things like that, going out and getting, who's the actor, Liam McIntyre?
Yes.
He's not an A-lister by any means, but he's a known quantity. Hopefully they have a gritty, grounded, good, story to tell. And I'm sure they do. But that's going to be what separates this game to me from a mid 8s to maybe a low 9s. Can they nail the story?
Yeah, the game be memorable, right?
Yeah.
I think we love Spider-Man 2 here, but we're being honest.
All gameplay.
It was at a month after it came out, it was in our rearview mirror, and not going back to it. And that wasn't a negative thing to say about the game. We just platinumed it and we're done. But yeah, I think if you want the game to be a little more memorable, kind of rise Insomniac to the tiers that we see with Sony Santa Monica and Naughty Dog, just memorable world-class stories. Yeah, they gotta do something here. But can they do it in the Marvel framework? I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. What wiggle room do they have? Do The nice thing about being a Sony studio is like you need help with the narrative. You got a lot of assistance you could probably get for a little bit to guide you in the right direction. So yeah, obvious candidate, that one. Me?
All right. Yeah, go.
All right, so my most anticipated of the year, an obvious day one for me, is Saros by Housemarque, coming out April 30th. Longtime listeners know how special Returnal is to Nick and I, and this obviously looks to just be the evolution of that game. I love roguelikes as is, so when you can combine kind of the AAA feel that you'll get from a Sony first party with the roguelike elements and Housemarque's picture-perfect, fast, tight, feel with gameplay, which I love. This game's going to be special. It's kind of another similar thing to Wolverine, though. It's like, there seemed to be a lot more focus on a straightforward narrative this time around, where Returnal was kind of weird and heady, and you kind of had to look some stuff up to get what are the themes and stuff here. But this looks to have actual characters kind of having conversations with one another. So, I look forward to it. I think it's going to be amazing. I hope it's not too samey to Returnal, but as Nick reminded me off air, it's just like, yeah, that's a sequel, man. This is basically a sequel to Returnal, which that's a fair point. So it's going to be awesome. Can't wait for Saros.
Yeah, I think we just need to see more of the systems because there's equipable things as opposed to in Returnal, you kind of started in this bare bones for the most part every run. This seems to have you have a build you can make. We need to see more of that. And and to this day, I mean, Returnal is one of the best examples of the DualSense. Why
it's the that Astrobot
from the pitter patter of rain on the controller and just how it felt and reacted to you playing. It was top tier.
I mean, dude, I don't know if I can think of another game that has that. If you press the trigger for the first part of it, it does something, and if you fully press it the rest of the way, it does something else. I can't think of another game that's utilized that.
I think Call of Duty has done it before, like your full auto and a full pull.
Okay.
Some first-person game has done it,
but yeah, not many. So yeah, Housemarque's gonna take full advantage of that.
I'm good. That was the next one on my list as well. So
yeah.
All right. Announced at the Game Awards, Remedy, makers of Alan Wake 2 and Control Resonant, seeing you moving from the third-person shooter and protagonist of Jesse in the first game to looks like to be a melee-focused play as her brother Dylan sequel that looks pretty incredible. That debut trailer at the Game Awards was something else. Not only from a story standpoint, but once they got into the gameplay, you're like, oh yeah, and the weirdness that the Control IP really allows. I hope Remedy can deliver. That trailer is incredible. Just can they nail a melee focused Control game?
Yeah, and
it's the big question.
Remedy, if they're a team that doesn't sell well, but their games are always really solid. So I think everything that players are going to want will be there. And I will admit, when it was revealed that it was melee instead of shooting, I felt disappointed a little bit. But I think that's primarily because what is it just called your service weapon in Control? It's such a cool weapon, but I bet this one's going to be just as cool in a way. And then when I thought about myself a little bit more as a gamer, it's like, no, I like melee more. I like Elden Ring. I like those kind of things. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's thinking about it a little bit more got me even more hyped for it. So I got that obviously on my list as well.
And I mean, in the first game, the service weapon had different modes of fire. Turned into different things. This is going to
be an axe. This is going to be a sword. It's going to be daggers, probably.
Yeah, we've seen a tease of dual swords, and then the tease of it turning into a giant hammer. So, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting if it comes out this year. That is if you're going to ask me what game's going to get delayed out of this year, this is probably a prime candidate.
Yeah.
Seeing how it was just announced, and Remedy hasn't been that long since Alan Wake 2 or FBC Firebreak.
And they're usually tight with money because so it's it could get delayed. I was gonna say something about the service weapon. Yeah, maybe a whip. Maybe a whip would be cool.
You gotta have a whip.
A flail.
Yeah,
all sorts of things. So.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see more of this game.
Good. Well, while we're kind of on the subject, seem to be getting these big boys out of the way. Let's get this next big boy out of the way. Coming February 27th, the ninth mainline entry in the Resident Evil franchise, Resident Evil Requiem from Capcom. Nick and I have some reservations about this game.
It is in my maybe category.
It's in your maybe category, which is fair. This is probably a day one for me, unless if the reviews are underwhelming, I might push it off. But like I will play this game no matter what, I would imagine. But I'm excited for it. I don't know if I love the idea of, these kind of dual things happening where it's like, Chris is going to be much more Leon's going to be much more action-y, guns blazing, and Grace is going to be slower. And I think Capcom absolutely has the ability to pull both those off well. I just think you're also kind of setting yourself up from a divisive standpoint where people are going to probably like one or the other more than the other one. And I just hope that you're either bouncing back quick enough, or I don't know. I would hope there's
question on that.
Yeah.
Would it be better if it was, because our assumption is you play through the game kind of like Spider-Man, right? And then all of a sudden you'll have the Leon segments.
Oh, I know.
And the Grace segment, and it's all one continuous story. But what if it was like Resident Evil 2, and we won't mention Resident Evil 6, where you pick who you are at the beginning, and that's kind of, you're seeing one side of the story, and then you pick the other character, and then you play through the entire game as them and see their side of the story. And then like Resident Evil 2, they kind of, they intersect at certain points, and then if you complete both, you get the true ending.
Yeah, I don't know which one would be better. That's a good question. I think both approaches would have their pluses and minuses. Like, again, if you had it kind of more segmented by halves, you still run into the same problem where it's like, especially if you pick the one you like first and then you get to the back half of the game, you're like, oh my God, I'd rather just go back to doing what I was doing. But again, I think Capcom will make both of those things feel well. People have preferences. So, but I think it looks great. We still don't know much about how this game even is going to operate. There was lots of rumors before it was revealed that it's open world, that there's all these other things happening, and through a series of poor trailers from Capcom, we really still don't know much. But either way, it's a big deal when a Resident Evil game comes out. So I'll be checking her out for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, the last game of my day one is an interesting one. It is Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy, the third game in a Plague Tale series, A Plague Tale Innocence and A Plague Tale Requiem. A Plague Tale Requiem was one of my Game of the Year candidates the year it came out. It's that good, and I'm kind of excited what this prequel will tell with a new protagonist, a new location. We haven't seen the games since this reveal trailer. I can't even remember when it was revealed. I think it was Summer Game Fest last year.
Sounds right.
But it is slated for this year, and I'm excited to see what Team Asobo can do with their third attempt at this franchise. So.
Maybe it's going to be like a Plague Tale Flight Simulator crossover. Since they for some reason do both of those franchises.
Yeah, I would love for you to play those games.
I know. They live in a weird place of backlogness where it never rises into like the top couple,
right?
Where it's always like, oh, I bet these are good. I think I started the first one. I did like
an hour.
You did.
I
did an hour.
Yeah, because you were mad that spoilers for the first game, first few minutes, the dog dies. You're like, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
I was like, there are a lot of bad things happening in those games.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting if this will be a departure, because the first two games were just third-person stealth games, kind of like The Last of Us. You played a young girl, like basically leading her brother through the Black Plague, essentially.
Come on, brother, let's go get the plague.
Yeah. This is typically known as the rat game, because there's so many rats. They basically move like water, like tidal waves of rats exist. And it's an impressive series with like very impressive moments. And one of those low-key franchises that I really enjoy. I platinumed both for the first two games, so nice. Keeping an eye on it.
Cool. Well, a game on my list that I'm sure is not on your list, and this would maybe be one. This is definitely more in the maybe area, but I like this franchise, and this will be the first one on PlayStation, and it's in Japan, and I think my son will like it playing it with me, and that's Forza Horizon 6 from Playground Games. There's no official date on this yet, but Japan is the coolest place in the world to me, so that is a big sell off the bat. And the little bit that I played of Forza Horizon 5 when I owned an Xbox, I thought it was great. I thought it was probably, I'm not the biggest Gears and Halo fan, but for my money, it's the best franchise that Xbox has. And so being able to bomb around in Japan with the cherry blossoms and probably the cool ultra, Japan's so cool because you got everything, right? You have super futuristic, crazy mechs and anime stuff. You have the historical temples and geishas and things like that. Kyoto, Tokyo, all the things, and mountainous regions as well. So it's great setting, rich history of cars in Japan as well. And Playground Games doesn't miss these. These are always good. They're always
True.
good.
It's true. And yeah, they're working on Fable as well. Playground Games is, and I'm very curious what I assume they're announcing an Xbox Developer Direct, and I think we're at a DEF CON 1 for them to announce it. Mm-hmm. They've done one the last 2 Januaries of the year. Which 4 games? Because if Forza's there and not Fable, that's very telling.
Yeah.
And very scary for Fable.
But I feel like if Fable is there and Forza isn't, I wouldn't be scared for Forza.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right. You're right. The reverse wouldn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you said, those games review incredibly well. It's what they do.
The only thing I'm hoping for is like what I didn't like about Horizon 5, and this was only really apparent after playing maybe 5 to 8 hours of it, is how much that map is littered with live service shit. And like I know this one will be too. I'm not naive. I just hope that it's not overbearing. Sure. Because it's like, when I first opened it, I saw the map. I was like, oh, there's all these different things to do, and then they started moving and changing and daily quests and this and this. And I was like, no, man, just give me give me the 75 quests I have to do, and let's get this over with. So, yes,
the games don't want you to leave, John.
No.
And to be honest, it's kind of a turnoff for the game for me, is how it is trying to be the forever game.
That's why what I'm hoping for is that there's a tight PlayStation style platinum list that I can get through. Unfortunately, a lot of that'll probably have some multiplayer stuff on it, but
I wonder if you just play the game offline and it'll disable all the bells and whistles, and you can just play it as a normal single player arcade racer.
It strikes me as a game that doesn't let you play it offline. I don't know why.
Maybe. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but good choice. I mean, that's a big game this year, a huge game. Yeah. All right, and then we're getting into my maybe category. So again, these are games like wait for reviews, interesting premises, or interesting teams, and we'll go from there. But we'll see. And the first one of that is Tides of Tomorrow, which is from DigiArt. It has a release date, February 24th of this year. This is a first-person narrative game. Where you kind of go into these areas. The planet is flooded. It's like Waterworld, basically. And you go into these areas. You do story quests. You make this like heavy choices. But the framing of this is that it's connected. And I can go in there. And if John did this section before me, I can go into a section affected by John's decisions, see John's choices. Or if there's a popular streamer, I can play his version of the game and see the choices he made. How is that all going to work? I don't know, but it's very curious, and like I said, it's like hot on our heels here, and I'm just curious as to if it's a great game or not.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Surprised how quickly this one's coming.
Yes.
Like it seems like it would be a game that would have a long development cycle, but I do know. I believe Road 96 was the previous game from these developers, which I think is not a game that you can go to OpenCritic and be like, oh my god, its reviews are so good. I think it's like high 7s or low 8s, but I believe it's also
that was their last game.
I believe it's also like one of those cult classic games where like the people that were into it are like, this is awesome. I wish more people paid attention to this or what. Right. I don't even really know what it is, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it's good for you, for sure.
Okay.
Let's go with.
Yeah, I'm curious where we're going here. What's John got?
Let's go with Mina the Hollower. I'm not, we're just going to get this. I'm going to put this in the first category that Nick had, where it's like, yeah, I'm still anticipating it. It's a old looking Game Boy Advance Zelda-like thing with 16-bit graphics. It looks dope. So we're just going to kind of skip over that.
From Yacht Club Games, the maker of Shovel Knight.
Yeah, so it'll be good. It'll definitely be good. But I'm going to go instead and have a little more.
Fuck that game. Screwed me in our fantasy league.
I basically won the fantasy league last year because that game didn't come out.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why.
It might come out and be shitty, but it's not gonna. So, I'm gonna go with Replaced from Sad Cat Studios, coming out March 12th. This is a game that I believe was revealed in 2021 with a 2022 release date. So it's Silksong Part 2. So that worked out for me very well last year to get a nice little indie game that finally got its release date. But gorgeous pixel art. If you look up this game. you'll see the level of animation and pixel artwork that's on hand here is top tier. And you get a lot of, like, I know there was a Ryan McCaffrey preview where he's comparing it to games like Inside and Limbo and being this, huge indie thing that's going to, review really well and just be kind of a special game that a lot of people remember. Don't expect it to be super long or anything like that, but it has all that pixel art and gorgeousness, but also with like a combat system kind of attached to it, which you don't typically see. So I'm cautiously optimistic about this one. I don't think this is a day oneer either. And it's going to be a game that has to catch me in the right mood, because I'm not always in the right mood to just kind of have basic combat while I'm just kind of moving to the right. But every once in a while, when I just kind of want to get through one, have like a nice weekend where I can beat a game, because this will probably be like a 6-hour game at the most, I would think. I don't think it'll be much more than that.
The thing is, they made the decision for you. It's not coming to PlayStation right away. It's
hooray.
Xbox exclusive, Game
That
Pass
makes sense.
exclusive. So you'll have to wait a little bit.
That's fine. Whatever. Fine.
So by rule cannot be day one unless you get a new platform.
I do remember when this had its release date last year. Yeah, that it was Xbox only. Now that you say that, oh well, that's fine. I'm still excited for it.
Yeah, no, it
It'll
looks
come
great. It's cyberpunk, so and that definitely I definitely have my eye on it too. But it's gonna be a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I got under the maybe category the Halloween video game.
Oh wow.
Coming September 8th of this year. Coming from Ilphonic, the makers of Friday the 13th video game that I love so much, and I just hope that they can get the same magic as that Friday the 13th game in this. It's I mean, Jason and Michael Myers are in the similar camps. It's an asymmetrical multiplayer game where you either play as the kids or you play as the killers, and they have some fun abilities that kind of make it feel like a horror game. Michael
can like go invisible. And stuff, right?
Yeah, and just show up all out of nowhere.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So.
Oh fuck.
So I'm hoping. I hope that they can, because Friday the 13th guy kind of got screwed by a lawsuit outside of the game, having to do with the Friday the 13th property that killed the game entirely, and so we're back.
Yeah, Michael Myers is the GOAT, as the kids say, in my opinion, of the slasher boys. So yeah, hopefully that one's good. All right, very quick one here. There's not a lot of info about it, but it's an obvious one for me. DLC for Silksong Sea of Sorrow. It's slated for this year. I don't believe it, but that's also just from past experiences. But it'll be great. It'll be amazing. I'm hoping that it's there's a little more to it, I guess, than maybe just another new area or something. Like, that's where I'm kind of unsure about. Like, there was DLC for Hollow Knight called the Voidheart Edition, which added some bosses and things like that, but I don't believe it added a new area. Might have to check myself on that. But like what I talk about all the time with Hollow Knight, the reason I love it so much was I love the Pantheon. I loved going through all those bosses and getting my teeth kicked in, but learning them so well that I could do with my eyes closed eventually. And I'm a little bummed out that it doesn't seem like that this game's going to get the same treatment, especially it's not going to be tied to the Platinum, which is where a lot of that satisfaction came from. But either way, Team Cherry is S tier to me, and there's no doubt that whenever this drops, it'll be immediate for me. So.
It's not coming this year.
I don't think I said that.
Okay, you did?
I said that. I said that, but it's slated for this year, so it makes the list right now.
Right, you're right. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I hope it comes out, but
They'll take their time, let them cook.
I mean,
just don't take 4 years.
They did go from zero communication to communicating, so maybe because they're communicating this, that they're pretty confident that it's coming out. So
yeah, I mean, they definitely strike me as the type of team that while they were working on the main release of the game, they had all this extra stuff. They're like, this doesn't quite fit, but put it in a folder over here. And then like now that they're done, they're just like, okay, let's bust it all out and crank it. So we'll see.
Yeah. No, they're known perfectionists. So
yes.
It'll come out when it comes out. They don't have any timeline they need to adhere to. So
make it harder. Fuck with everybody.
Yeah,
do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
All right. Next up, I got a Star Wars Zero Company, a XCOM inspired Star Wars game coming from a new studio called Bit Reactor, but in collaboration with Respawn, who is responsible for the Jedi games, Apex Legends. We only seen a brief trailer for it, so again, that's why it's in the maybe category. Could be something, could be not, but XCOM is an amazing series, and it should expand to more properties, and Star Wars seems pretty perfect for it. So I'm hoping that that this game is something to keep an eye on and eventually just play.
Yeah. I never want to play a game again where I'm standing 6 inches from somebody's face and I miss the shot.
No, you got to have that. That's key to the franchise.
I hate that. Oh, do I hate that.
Hey, you had a 96%, 4% chance of missing.
Yeah, great. This is so fun.
Yeah, dice rolls are great. We'll see. I mean, again, the one thing about XCOM is you're just a bunch of generic humans, and of course, you could expand to different classes, and it got more out there. But having access to all the Star Wars characters, bounty hunters, Jedi,
alien races,
yeah, a bunch of alien, yeah, exactly. It can really be something else. So hopefully, and it's set in the Clone Wars, which is a great period to have this game.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody in the league has that one yet. It's kind of one of those games I'm side-eyeing. How many more you got?
Just one more.
Okay, cool. I have 2 more. Perfect. All right. No release date yet, but Vampire Crawlers from Ponkel. Vampire Survivors swept the world by storm when it came out a couple years ago. It's incredibly simplistic but endlessly addicting. This one is not an auto battler like Survivors was, but a dungeon crawling deck builder. Where in dungeon crawling, it's like the video game term genre of dungeon crawling, where you kind of move forward, move to the left. Like, it looks very old school, but it's a genre that I think I don't know if it deserves to have a little bit more love, but I remember playing Severed, which was a dungeon crawler for the Vita. It's a very obscure game from Drinkbox Studios, but I thought that game was awesome. And so kind of looking at this one with that same mechanic, but then adding the Vampire Survivors, crazy bananas, over the top level of dopamine hits, leveling up, and all that craziness, could be really, really fun. I'm not typically a deck builder guy, so it gives me a little apprehension there, but at least going to be something that I check out. I'm sure it'll be like 12 cents to buy. So, it's I think the first Vampire Survivors was $5 on release, and I got it for $2. So I can easily swallow that $5 to give it a shot. So hopefully it's as addicting. But yeah, it should be awesome.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna take your time.
Yep, I know.
All your time.
That's fine.
All right, and then my last maybe to keep an eye on, still Star Wars, Galactic Racer, just revealed at the Game Awards. A racer in the Star Wars universe. Yeah, that sounds great to me. Even as someone who wasn't the biggest pod racer fan, this just looks cool. And there's just a lack of sci-fi racers. We don't have F-Zero. We don't have Wipeout anymore. Like, come on, let's go.
Did you ever play Kinetica?
No.
Do you know of Kinetica? It was the first game from Sony Santa Monica. It was before they did no, it wasn't the first game. Maybe it was.
No, I definitely did not then.
Yeah, it's basically like you have wheels on your hands and feet. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's awesome or if it's just
remember.
10-year-old me thought it was awesome, but yeah, just Kinetica. Yeah, I went from eye rolling to by the end of the trailer, be like, I might want to do this because I didn't like pod racing. I thought it was kind of lame and whatever.
Right.
And so I expected this one to be just another pod racer. But as they're showing different ships and actual ships flying through with the canyons looking awesome, I was like, that could be something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a new studio, Fuse Games. Unproven, but again, I believe they're ex Burnout and ex Need for Speed people. So
yeah.
Hopefully this is something again to be good, and again slated for sometime this year.
Yeah,
and that's all I got.
Cool, man. I got one more last one, and this one I threw it on my list right before the show. I initially didn't have it because the style of game is not what I typically yearn for, but I have played games like Into the Breach and other strategy things in the past little bit, so maybe it could be. And this creator's first game is in my Mount Rushmore, this game is Mugenics from Edmund McMillan, coming out February 10th, which he is the maker of Binding of Isaac. He is the maker of The End Is Nigh, and I think he had another one that I'm forgetting. But Binding of Isaac is a roguelike OG. It's one of those first ones that really kind of showed the genre for what it is, and I think it's still to this day one of the best examples of why I like roguelikes. I love combining things to give you different things that you weren't even expecting to happen, and where you can completely break a run, and that's fine because that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to struggle all the time playing roguelikes. Sometimes I want to get the god tier rolls and just decimate everybody, and I think Edmund understands that, and this is a game he's been working on for I think about 12-13 years. He's come out and he said like it feels like this is his magnum opus. This is like what he wants. Like this is the game that he's hoping he's remembered for. And so while it doesn't necessarily look like my jam, where during the day, it seems like you have like a house and you have these cats, and every cat has a different ability or different way that they operate, and you take them out on different adventures and go battle with them, and then you bring them back and they have sex with one another and create different other little cats that fuse together. If you know anything about the Binding of Isaac and the poop and all the nonsense that Edmund McMillan puts into his games, it shouldn't surprise you all that much.
Okay.
But
Just like how you said magnum opus and then went into that description.
He would understand. If anybody
exactly.
would, he would. But it's a game that I'm hoping. I don't know. I'll probably check it out regardless, and hopefully it gets its hooks in me. But after really, really liking Into the Breach, I was like, you know what? Maybe there is a world where these kind of games, if they hit the right way, I can enjoy them. So, yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Are there any interesting games we're not mentioning? I mean, I know some Xbox games were mentioned. This is the 25th anniversary of Xbox, so you would think that no one said Gears of War E-Day or Halo, campaigned, remastered, or whatever it is called.
Evolved.
Campaign involved. I'm trying to think of other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally looking at our fantasy draft, which has a lot of the big games this year, right? We just did that. So, you got Dragon Quest VII, Persona 4, potentially, which probably ain't coming. You got the Prince of Persia remake.
I'd be interested if that is true.
Yeah. 007 is a big one.
Yeah.
Where, but I think I don't know who I was talking to. I think 007 has a potential to be this year's Indiana Jones. You remember, like, we were just not on it. And then it comes out and it gets an 87, and we're like, no. And then we play, and we're like, oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah.
So potential there.
That's true. You're right.
Marvel Tokon.
Not likely, but sure.
Yeah. Marvel Tokon, another big one. We're just not fighting guys.
Yeah. I wish.
Slay the Spire 2 should be coming to early access. Fire Emblem, the next big one.
I'd play that if I had a Switch, yeah.
And Neo 3, the Dusk Bloods, Pragmata. That's probably the big ones that we missed, or that aren't right there.
Okay.
But not to say we won't play any of those games, if those games review well, and we might, but
we're on the outside looking into the year.
Yes.
Yeah, but things be crazy. Like you said, I didn't even have Indiana Jones as my most anticipated or at all, or on my anticipated list at all, and was my game of the year. So
this could be Phantom Blade Zero this year. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we can move on. Oh,
did you give any thought to the Blood of Dawnwalker?
Yeah, okay.
So for those who don't know, this is a new big meaty RPG from previous CD Projekt Red developers.
Right, where you play as a vampire and you have vampire abilities. That reminds me of like Crimson Desert is another one. That's an entirely wait and see. It's funny. The what's turning me off is it has a time mechanic, and doing things costs you time. So which is
Persona.
Right. Which Persona 5 had, and I ended up liking it. So it's not like the end of the world. But yeah, I don't know. It's just a game. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, like, something feels off.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on to our next topic, which is predictions for the year. But before we do that, let's go back and look at our predictions for 2025.
Come back with me.
Yeah. How do you think we did, John?
Not great. Never great. These are hard.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, I like to do predictions from a standpoint of like, I'm taking I'm taking big swings.
Yeah.
I'm not trying
we
to
always
get 100.
do.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get 100%.
Even for like a state of play, we take the biggest swings in it. We always eat crow on it. So
listeners don't want us to go be like, yeah, I think Grand Theft Auto might actually review above 90 this year. Like, they don't want that.
All right. So again, these are our predictions from last year. Let's see how well we did. John, you're up first. You had 6 predictions. Here we go. Persona 6 announced.
Probably should have had that one this year.
Half-Life 3 announced.
Okay, I was smoking. I feel like.
Yeah. You had GTA 6 delayed to 2026. You also added that it will be the lowest reviewed GTA game.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
that's looking unlikely.
you'll get a half point for GTA 6 delayed. You had Phil Spencer steps down as head of Xbox.
I feel like I want 0.1 points for that because he was nowhere this year. He was.
That is true.
This is a complete side thing. Did you see there was some like award show in Africa?
Yes.
You saw it and he was like just an ambassador or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing.
Well,
Definite step down.
He won like some like lifetime achievement award for.
Oh
it.
yeah, because it was presented by Peter Moore. Or something.
Yeah. So that didn't happen.
Okay.
You had Nintendo Switch 2 announced soon. Releases May 2025. Launches with a 3D Mario. $400 price tag.
All right. Do I get any points for that?
Yeah,
I guess
sure.
so. That's fine. All right, I'll take 0.37.
I mean, it was announced that later that month, but you got the release date wrong.
I missed
no
that
3D Mario.
It was what, June 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We were both, and when we get into my predictions, I was similar.
Yeah.
And then you had the Master Chief Collection coming to PlayStation.
All right, that'll come this year. No, that probably won't. No, they're just
No,
gonna remake
that's
all
not
of them.
happening
They're
at
just gonna remake all of them. Yeah. All right, that's fine. If I hit 1, I feel okay. Don't want to be a complete buffoon.
All right, we'll get into my predictions here. GTA 6 will release this year, online delayed. That didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Switch 2 will announce very soon with a release date of May 2025. I had magnetic Joy-Cons, backward compatible with both physical and digital OG Switch. A lot of this stuff was already out there in the rumor phase. I also had launching with a 3D Mario and a Mario Kart successor, and Metroid 4 not coming long after. So wasn't too...
Not bad.
Yeah.
No price point? I thought you had a price point. Surprised.
No,
Okay.
I didn't have one. Then my final prediction was that PlayStation, to combat the Switch 2 announcement coming out, would have a big showcase. They didn't have it. And then I also said that 3 first-party studios will announce their games. Those 3 were Sony Bend, Bluepoint, and Housemarque. You only got Housemarque.
One did.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right.
All right. So that sets the stage on how inaccurate we can be. That's what, 10, 15%, right?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
No. Yeah.
But let's see what we got. How many do you got?
I got 6.
Oh, okay. You did 6.
I matched you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did 3 bigger predictions and then the 3 smaller in your vein of your little I'm announcing games will be announced.
Yeah.
But we'll go back and forth. But what do you got?
All right, I have a feeling we both have this one, and it's not a fun one to talk about, and it's not exciting, so let's just get it out of the way. But we're going up with our prices, Nick. Prices.
I don't have that.
You
one.
don't have that. We're going up. I think this year, there's a lot of talk in the world about just RAM prices being out of control, and the global economy seems to be very fluctuating right now. And I think that we'll end up seeing a PlayStation Online Extra, however you want to frame it, increase this year. And I think we'll see GTA 6 release at $80 to continue the trend of some games trying to utilize it. I don't think it's going to be a blanket $80 across the industry like 70 kind of was, but I think that we'll see Nintendo continue to flirt with that, and I think developers can maybe feel a little more confident, especially something like Grand Theft Auto 6, that they can get away with 80 if they need to. And I think the Switch 2 goes up to 500 this year as well.
Okay.
So things will increase.
So the services are going to increase on PlayStation.
Yep.
GTA will be an $80 game.
Switch is going up by 50.
Yeah. Yeah. Switch going up is yeah. Those are all pretty good. They're pretty
Thanks.
good. Yeah. I don't think Xbox has any more price increases in store, other than it'll just not be in stores.
Yeah.
The hardware.
Yeah, it'll be increased on the collector's market on eBay because they're of the past.
But yeah, no, you're not kidding. I mean, they just announced the Legion Go 2 SteamOS version, and its starting price is $1,200. So for a handheld, so that's rough.
Yeah.
So if any preview of what the Steam machine will cost or anything else,
boys. Start saving.
all right. This one's a little finicky, and if you need more clarification, but I think I hit a sweet spot on this. But I have 4 live service games will come out in 2026 and die in 2026, and we can talk about the die part.
Okay.
But the inspiration for this is Marathon and Heimgard. I think they'll both launch this year and fail, but I added 4 just to make it more interesting because I think there'll be more. But
Okay.
So how are we going to define dying? Like servers offline or a player base that is just negligible?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't think we need to put an ironclad number on it, but like 1,000 or less concurrent players
easy.
on
Okay.
Twitch, maybe like somewhere in that, like,
Yeah, we'll just
if you're not getting into 4 digits, I feel like is like a
Right.
death of
Okay.
a live service game.
All right.
Is
I
that good?
think that's easy.
Okay, this is a good segue because I have Marathon actually does well. All right, I don't think it's this monumental success, but hold on, stop shaking your head at me.
No. Okay, I'm shaking my head because last year I told you that game was dead.
Yeah.
And now I think you're just throwing it back in my face.
I'm not, Nick. I'm not.
I will say you did say you think it comes back, and I did not, and I cannot believe it's coming back.
Yeah, I think that this is a game that it had a very, very, very poor first showing, much like Heimgard, and I do think Heimgard dies, but I don't know if it's just I'm feeling extraction shooters or not right now. Heimgard, yes.
I have it as Heimgard.
Oh, yeah, that's how much we care about that game. But I'm kind of taken aback a little bit with Arc Raiders in the fact that it's not anywhere nearly as complex as I thought it was going to be as an extraction shooter, and it receiving the attention it has. It's literally dropping into a map, getting garbage, and leaving. That's all it is. And what the community, like, because I kept going into
in your angry emails between the joysticks at
that's fine.
gmail.com.
I like the game, all right? We'll get to that later. I think it's a really cool game that does a lot of things well, but what I'm realizing about it is, I guess let me take a step back. One of the big issues that people had with Marathon when it was shown off is that there wasn't proximity chat. And when I heard that, I was like, shut up, babies. Who cares? And now that I'm playing a game like this, it's like, oh, I understand. I understand why that's so important.
When you see how like viral Arc Raiders is, a lot of it is those interactions with people that you just randomly meet. Yeah.
And as a player who still, I wouldn't say that I'm looking for social interactions when I game, but I understand that. And I think they've said that they're going to put that in. Yeah. And I still maintain that Bungie is still a developer that a lot of people will show up for. And so if they can add a couple things into it, I don't know, there was like a re-reveal or something about this game like a couple weeks back that I thought was like, this looks good. And so what I'm trying to say is that I think Bungie has the abilities, or at least they used to. I don't, that's the biggest wrinkle of this whole thing is like, it's not Bungie of old, but I think they have a fan base that will show up for it. It will be a halfway decent product that I think they can show has a promising future. And because of that, and because of the pedigree that Bungie has as shooters, I think it can find its footing. Again, I'm not saying it's going to take the world by storm. It's not going to be an Arc Raiders, but I think it's a net positive. Is I guess what I'm trying to say. And again, I don't know how to quantify this one as well, but we can kind of maybe just go for a more vibe feel with it.
Okay. I mean, we can always explore it later. I mean, obviously we'll revisit this a year from now, and so we can be like, well, Marathon launched. It was a 81. It's hanging on by a thread because Grand Theft Auto came out, but up until that point, it came back and it stuck around, right?
Yeah.
It'll just be something we'll have to qualify when we revisit it.
Yeah, and there's other, there's a lot of things that it could be they find a bunch more AI or AI art asset stuff, and then that kills it again. But it seems like as long as they can avoid a negative story between now and release and it actually releasing and it's okay, I think it'll be at least serviceable. It'll be interesting to see, does the $40 price point hurt it or help it? I don't know. Because the data on that is just all over the place, right? Like Helldivers, $40, super successful. Arc Raiders, $40, super successful. Concord dies immediately.
Right.
So we'll see.
Okay.
Felt like a fun one. I liked it.
It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Marathon is very interesting. All right. Oh yeah, and we forgot about Four Loop. Four Loop is another game that's going to come and die. Forgot about that game.
And what about Fair Game? I mean, there's Fair Games lingering.
Yeah, Fair Games is another
who knows?
one. Yeah.
Who knows?
Good. I got my 4 games already.
Are you writing that down? Is that on the paper? Those are the 4?
No. All right. Yeah, let's go with. I'll swing for the fences for this one. Half-Life 3 is true. And I'll get a little more detail into this one. I don't think it's coming this year, but I think we'll get a trailer that will feature classic weapons such as the gravity gun and the portal gun. So we'll see some cool weaponry, but those two will return and get everyone hot and bothered.
Well, so let me ask you this then. So Half-Life 3 is real, right? The most legendary, fabled sequel in video game history of Where Is It, right? Mm-hmm. Why would Valve release a brand new console and not have that ready to go, I guess?
Because they don't care about that console.
Because they don't care about it? Okay. Well, also...
That console is going to be prohibitively expensive. They're more concerned with people coming to Steam and not that Epic Games is even close to taking their lunch, but Epic Games is, they're giving away a lot of games. They're publishing games, like Alan Wake 2. It's time for Valve to punch back with its heaviest of hitters.
Yeah, I would think that they understand, right? They know, and
right.
So it's like have it ready for the Steam machine would just be a boon for that thing. But you're giving me a lot of good segues, Nick. So I'm rolling into my next one, and a little hard to quantify also, but the Steam machine will be a much smaller splash than people expect, and it will be $750 plus. That is my prediction. I think that this is a device that when it was revealed, everybody was kind of immediately intrigued, right? Do we have a new console war edition, right? Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. When the Dreamcast came, that was a big deal. But I don't think it's quite that, right? This is more just another part of the ecosystem that Valve tries to control every bit of, right? And it's launching with some other things like a new VR system, or there's other pieces of kit that are kind of with this push. But I think the Steam machine will come out. People are going to like it. People are going to who have it, sing its praises. But it's not gonna be this thing that we see in the monthly NPDs and things that's crushing.
It's another Steam Deck, which is Steam Deck's great and all, but Switch 2 already outsold it. So and that's why I say Valve will never commit enough to make them viable, and then the world economy, everything getting more expensive is just going to hurt the shit out of that.
It's not
thing.
A great year to launch.
Yeah. So okay, all right, and I have some smaller ones. Silent Hill remake is announced this year for October.
Okay. Nice. Silent Hill remake of the first one?
Yeah, the first game.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm going to go with...
And I guess I should clarify, Konami wants a Silent Hill every year, weirdly enough. I don't know why. We had Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill F, now Silent Hill remake. Maybe they're trying the old Resident Evil method, the remakes with the full games. So.
That's great and all. Konami, keep doing that. I'm happy you're making games again, but don't neglect your other franchises also.
That might be another prediction.
Oh, okay. I see you, Castlevania. I see through your computer screen.
It is Castlevania.
I know, I'm smart. I'm just going to get this one out of the way because it's not sexy, and I don't even know. This is probably a bad prediction, just in theme of the show, I'm now realizing, but I also feel like it's going to be incredibly true, but AI continues to dominate all headlines, unfortunately, this year. I think that's going to continue to be a dumb thing that we just have to exist through every single month, every conference, whatnot. We're going to be talking about generative AI. Did this game use AI? Do we hate AI? All that stuff. I think that continues. Now, again, if you want to get to the end of the year and don't give me a point for this one because obviously it's going to be true, that's fine. But there was a report today, maybe it was yesterday, that says Microsoft is planning on laying off 5 to 10% of its workforce, which is 11,000 to 22,000 people. Mm-hmm. And that includes a lot of the Xbox unit and other things. So it's just, it's more of a continuation of the thing that's been plaguing the industry for a couple of years now, which is just the mass amount of layoffs. But this is, AI is going to accelerate all that. And, do we continue to see just gamers stand up to it or kowtow to it? I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to get a little more specific here, and it's always something we can revisit. But maybe like, I don't know, 3 big games all have an AI controversy attached to them.
There was one that I wanted to say specifically. No,
They had Call of Duty. That was already
Grand
this year.
Theft Auto is going to be one. I think Grand Theft Auto will be one that's going to get nitpicked a lot.
Yeah.
What else can I say?
I just think, yeah, if 3 big games have a controversy with it because of AI, I'll give you that.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
All right. I will take that. And you can even put 3 big games, Grand Theft Auto being one of them. If you want to
Okay.
if you want to
All
throw
right.
that in there, I'm good with that.
All right. That works. All right. Yeah. Okay. So he's looking through my screen. I don't know, but Konami is on this return to gaming, right? Last year, obviously they've seen success with Silent Hill, and they've seen success with Metal Gear. We got Metal Gear Delta last year. It's time for them to revisit Castlevania. I don't know in what way to qualify this even further. I'm just going to say that Castlevania is coming back. We're going to know that this year. We're going to get a snazzy trailer. We're going to find out who's working on it. And my guess is it'll be another 2D Castlevania, but it'll be back this year. Another Castlevania original game.
I like that pick. It is an interesting question. Yeah, like how do they approach it? Because if you were to look at history, they did the classic game of each of those franchises first, right? Maybe
they just remake Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, but like that's a weird game to remake. Like and try to bring.
They're going to do it eventually.
But like I would think part of the reason that they're doing Delta, Metal Gear Solid Delta, and Silent Hill 2, and then F is because like okay, well we're doing Silent Hill 2. It's a 3D game. We want to make 3D Silent Hill games. If we do more Metal Gear games, like they're going to look like this. Like if they were to continue the Castlevania legacy, I would personally love it if they went the 2D route. I just wonder if that's really what they would want to do. And so, yeah, do they remake Symphony of the Night, or do they just try and maybe here we're doing a brand new Metroidvania, or do they tackle the 3D space with Lords
you
of
would
Shadow?
think they would remake Symphony of the Night because
be the
of
safe
how
one.
they've been treating their other franchises, like not full-blown sequels, but kind of dipping their toes. Granted, if it is a 2D Castlevania, it's a much smaller bet.
Yeah.
But maybe they just remake Symphony of the Night.
So interesting. Because how do
gauge interest in the franchise?
So Symphony of the Night, I listened to Colin Moriarty a lot, not lately, but in my history, and that's his like number 1 favorite game of all time. And he always talks about how the pixel art is amazing and how gorgeous it is. And if you remake that game, you can't do you can't make it look like Bloodstained. You just can't do that.
Right.
So it'd be very interesting to see if they were to do it. Like, is there a modern looking pixel art style that like what would it look like the Octopath games, or I don't know. It would be an interesting one to, because you could make a lot. You could have the same exact game with the same systems and all that stuff, but it looks wrong, and the fans of that franchise will freak out about it.
Sure.
So it's a good
with that Mega Man reveal, I know.
Yeah. All right. What do I got? Do I got 2 left, or I got 2 left? All right. So we start to see Sony's end of PS5 slate. Right. We start to get that next round, and I think I'm going to call out 2 games specifically. We get Barlog's next game this year. We get it shown, and we finally see the next Uncharted game. Finally. Don't know if it's going to Naughty Dog or not. Obviously, they're working on Intergalactic. I understand that. But, it's been forever since that one weird tease. Maybe they had a smaller team just mingling away at it, or maybe it was outsourced to Sony San Diego, somebody who, Sony San Diego, who does MLB The Show. Maybe there was, they could staff that up and have them help. But I think we start to see that end of PS5 slate fill out a little bit, with those games kind of starting to
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, they have a lot of games in the fire right now. For this year, Ceros, Marvel Tokon, and Wolverine, and then we know about Intergalactic. But there's some games in the out there, right? The Project Gummy Bears, the 2.5D rumored God of War game. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting if they announce even more games on top of what they already got. But
well,
they usually do at least one new game a year announcement. So
well, I think if that God of War game is real, I don't think it's slotted in as like one of their big games.
No,
it's not a quarter stealer or a half of the year stealer, right? Where they want to have 2 big games to release, maybe 3. I don't think the God of War one would be included in that. So Yeah, I could see. I'm hoping we start to see those. Barlog's game especially. Like, what is it?
Okay.
So,
All right. And as I mentioned, big year for Xbox. Xbox 25. There's another franchise synonymous with Xbox that had a big shadow drop last year, this franchise. But it's time to revisit the newest game, and that's Elder Scrolls 6. It's going to get revealed again with its subtitle, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Skyrim. We're going to get Elder Scrolls 6 blank. And obviously no release date. Well, maybe.
Do you think they put a year and then we obviously all just know, like, yeah, okay, push it back just a year or two
right.
from that?
Maybe they go 2027, 28.
I think you can get away with 28. If it's like Game Awards.
Right. Maybe 2028, but it'll be revealed. My guess is that the Xbox showcase in June is they'll end on something like this to say that it's coming back.
That's a weird. It's like that. When was it first shown? 7 years ago.
Before Fallout 76 came out.
It still feels early to me. Like I know it's not. And yeah, it's a good one. I thought you were gonna say Fallout 3 remake. I thought you were gonna like go that way.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that in the past. We thought it would be out by now to coincide with the show, but obviously, yeah, it's interesting they went Oblivion first. And not Fallout 3 with the popularity of the show, but
yeah, and they'll remake Skyrim.
But of course, a Fallout 3 remake is coming.
Yeah. All right, Nick, and here's the one you've been waiting for.
Oh yeah,
the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah, let's go.
So, Nintendo's got a big year ahead of them, right? They got a lot of games that are scheduled. We got the Fire Emblem game, obviously, Mario Tennis Fever. Mario or Pokemon's take at Animal Crossing, right, with Pokopia.
Yoshi.
And you even got a Yoshi game that's slated for this year. But Nicholas, Mr. Man,
Bring it.
I think that we cannot go through the second year of the Switch. Arguably, it's selling faster than anything. The Switch is going to sell, but it's been 9 years, the longest gap ever for a 3D Mario game. And this is the year that we get the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I think it's time. Now, I know there's a lot of counter arguments to be made, right? Like the Odyssey team worked on Bonanza, for sure. But I don't think Nintendo can let 10 years go by without a new 3D Mario game. And I think if there was ever a franchise that can start to pull resources away from other people or things like that, to get one out, it's their flagship boy. And that's 3D Mario. So I'm going to even go a step further, and I'm going to say Super Mario Galaxy 3 gets announced this year.
Okay.
All right? I think it's okay for them not to have it ready for the movie. The movie's going to make $1 bajillion no matter what. Having a game there doesn't push that forward. But at what point do we say, like, okay, like it's been too long. We need a 3D Mario. That's like, it's Naughty Dog not having a game in a long time. Like at some point you just have to get it going. And if the argument is that Bonanza's team just released a game, so we're like, I refuse to believe we're another 3 to 4 years out. Like I don't think that would be the case. So it's got to come. It's going to be a surprise. I think if any company can like keep everything under wraps, no leaks, things like that, it's Nintendo. And yes, it's a big swing at the fence, but I think that's the one. There also is some argument to be made. Like this is Pokemon's 30th anniversary, so like maybe Pokemon gets all the love at the end of the year, but you need. This Switch 2 needs that game that makes everybody feel super comfortable. It's not a commentary on it needs it to sell. It doesn't need it to sell, but you need to show the people the people that have bought in that like the big games are coming. Mario Tennis is not the big game. Yoshi is not the big game. Pokopia could be, and Fire Emblem is very niche. The year would seem weird if it didn't have something bigger.
Sorry, that's just how the cookie crumbles, John. 3D Mario game is definitely not coming, and I'm with you. Like sometimes, like we talk here, and you think like, oh, it makes sense. Why wouldn't they do that? Why isn't there a game ready for Super Mario Galaxy?
Yeah,
I have no idea. Like, why isn't there a Fallout remastered to go with the Fallout show that's out right now? I couldn't tell you why, but
Well, I think the answer for the movie at least is just because it's way easier and quicker to make a movie than it
Of
is
course,
to make a game.
of
So like,
course.
oh crap, the Mario movie made us how much money? Another one. No,
right.
no.
Right.
So
But yeah, I but unfortunately they had Bonanza already like in the tank, and I think Bonanza is your big 3D platformer, and you're not going to get another 3D platformer this year. You're going to get my prediction to counter that prediction as the 2D Mario game, a sequel to Mario Wonder, which came out 3 years ago. You will get a sequel to that, which will be released this fall to coincide with the digital release of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. There will be no 3D Mario. You're wrong. Good day, sir. I said good day, sir.
I would be so mad if they release a sequel to Wonder this year. Like, if that's like Wonder was great, but it's so speaking of forgettable games, like it just didn't hit. So, yeah, that's fine. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the year.
We'll see.
But I do like that you countered it, because now if neither of them come out, I can't be like, well, you were wrong. I can be like, you were wrong too. So. Yeah, but it's fun.
But it would be wild if nothing Mario related is this year. But again, it doesn't make sense, but it could happen for sure.
It's just weird. Yeah, there's these little things you can pull on to be like that it doesn't make sense, and these little things you can pull on to say it makes sense, right? Like, well, Mario's already shown up on the Switch too.
Right.
Mario Kart World. It's like,
Right.
yeah, I know, but like it's not it.
Right.
Give me Super Mario Galaxy 3, please. Maybe even the movie teases the game. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, Galaxy 3 would be incredible. That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be something else. So I hope your prediction is true. I just don't think it is.
Would you borrow somebody's Switch to play it?
No.
Why are you so mean? Why don't you want to enjoy things? I
don't know.
I love Zelda. I haven't played the new Zelda. I have.
They went in a direction I don't like with that franchise. What do you want from me here?
I don't know. I want you to. I don't know. Shotgun approach things.
I played up through Twilight Princess. I haven't played a game since. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's
Twilight
just not.
Princess is still a game. Like it's like I would really love to play that game. It's like one of the biggest Zelda game I probably haven't played.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. How?
Good question. I'm sure there's no Switch version.
There might be, but
all right.
I don't want to.
So that's kind of it for. I mean, that is it for our predictions. Let's hope we're right.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna. I feel like at the end of next year we're gonna have some more yeses. I know some of them maybe a little safer predictions this year, like prices going up, and yeah, of course AI is gonna dominate headlines. But
and then I did want to end this segment on a personal prediction for myself, is that this year I buy a special edition or a collector's edition of a video game. At least one.
Yeah.
with all these big sequels, with all these big games, we know there's going to be a Wolverine controller. I'm going to have that controller. Yeah.
Would you rather have a claw or a mask as the special edition like thing?
I'd rather have just Wolverine.
Like a figure?
I wouldn't want any of the.
Okay, but you didn't answer
the
my
mask,
question.
especially
You
not.
didn't answer my question. So claw.
It would be the claw.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm sure.
God, what would the
there'll be
Grand
some
Theft
really
Auto
good
thing
ones.
be?
I mean, they've always done it. They're really weird.
Just an alligator.
I've never gotten them before. They usually have like accessories or like backpacks and other weird things.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that if you were to get one, it's Wolverine. It's not Grand Theft Auto. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, again, there's a lot of games I'm looking forward to that I'll be eyeing if they all have special editions. So I'll at least get one. That's my prediction. At least one.
And I predict I will have a crush on some video game character this year.
Yeah, for sure you will.
Maybe that's what gets me through Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, Lucia. Yeah, she might be the...
Who doesn't like a big booty Latina, Nick? Who doesn't?
That's true. There'll be tons of fan art of her for years to come.
Yes.
All right, we can move on to our final topic if you're ready. If you want to talk more games,
yeah,
we can call the show now. We're an
right.
hour 12 in.
Oh, we can talk some games.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk some games.
All right. So where do you want to start? We've actually both completed some games.
Yeah. Let's get the new one out of the way real quick because I can be quick with this. Like this doesn't have to be anything more than that. But I recently completed Sword of the Sea.
Okay.
From Giant Sparrow or Giant Squid? Giant Squid, I believe. Because they are the makers of makers of Abzu and The Pathless. So this is a game that came out late last year. Really good reviews. Sitting at an 87. It very much looks like Journey, and it very much is like Journey, but with a little bit more gameplay elements to it. So, this is one of those artsy games where it doesn't require a lot out of you, but pretty short experience. I think I beat it in about 3 or 4 hours. There's even a trophy for beating it under 2, I think. So it's a game that you're meant to kind of get through, but it's a game where you're going to get a lot of the enjoyment from the artistic value that's there. The controls feel really good, but you're never doing anything much more than kind of like skating through some sand on a big sword. There's some cool things that happen through your journey that I'm not going to spoil here that kind of keep it fresh. And there's even like little mini skateboarding games, because it kind of operates like a skateboarding thing where there's little half pipes where you can do tricks and you can beat high scores and things like that. But the game is very, very, very good. It's not anything I haven't played before. I've played Journey, I've played The Pathless, I've played these. They're almost like walking sims, but from an artistic standpoint. But I don't have a lot to say. It's a short game. There's not this big heavy narrative or anything like that. Like Journey was special because you got through it with another person that you didn't realize was another person until you get to the end of the game. And you're like, whoa, my God, that was a person. That wasn't the game. There's nothing like that in this, and it's not the same developer, so I wasn't expecting that. But what I did find was a very enjoyable short experience that I was happy to spend a weekend with. If you have PlayStation Extra, this is on there. That's where I played it. Obviously with my son getting a PlayStation, I got him online, so I've been kind of like looking through that again. But highly recommend that to anybody who likes those kind of games. I would easily give it a 9, for what it is. But just understand it's going to be a little bit shorter. It's not going to have a lot of robustness to it. And I wish it didn't have one of those trophies where you have to collect every single tiny little thing in the game. There's like 160
The Pathless was the same way.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I was kind of bummed when I saw that because I was like, oh, this could be an easy platinum game, but like I don't want to have to just look at a YouTube video, go to the place, look at do that 150 times. It's part of the reason why I kind of one of the most unsatisfying platinums I've ever got, despite it being one of my favorite games of all time, is The Last of Us 1. It's like, dude, like having to just get every single dog tag and keep just. It almost felt like I just was like spoiling it for me in real time. Like I don't want to have to just keep looking and then just mimicry.
Collectibles have gotten out of hand a little bit in a lot of games, and when it's like, I understand when you have a game like this that's really short that you pad the length like that. Like this is the reason you go back and play it is to get all the collectibles, and The Pathless was the same.
Yeah.
Way if you just beeline that game, it's literally a couple hour game. It's like when you want to go back and get everything that they're like, oh, we got you now. Now we're in that 10 to 15 hour game, and I understand. I'm with you.
Yeah, but check it out, man. It was really good.
Yeah. So you're recommending I play it too?
I would recommend you play it. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't think you should. You should definitely not buy it full price.
Yeah, just get it on.
If you see it like at a good sale that $12, $15, whatever that sweet spot is for you, where you're just like, what, I could use a 3 to 5 hour indie game that is just kind of pretty and it's just very much like a Neva. It's kind of like it's a Neva, right?
Right.
Limited gameplay, very pretty, might touch you. Ooh. Touch your heart in a little weird way that kind of just makes an impact. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching the video now. It looks fun.
Yeah, it's
kind of neat.
One thing that I immediately liked about it is the moment. Like it's a good DualSense game, and the fact that like when you're skating around specifically on sand, it's like.
Oh yeah,
it feels like you're kind of like literally taking a metal sword and scraping sand while you're kind of going around, and was satisfying. And me, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I need to wish list this because I did enjoy The Pathless.
Yeah, you dig it.
So okay, neat.
Yeah. You want to go or you want me to continue?
Whatever you want to talk about. We both played both games, so whatever you're feeling.
You go.
All right. Hot off of John's recommendation 2 episodes ago, where he talked about, it feels like a good 20 to 30 minutes about 1000X Resist, this narrative game from a indie developer, and he reviewed it on the show, gave it a 9, and I bought it, and now I've completed it and platinumed it for my first platinum of the year. number 55. And yeah, I'll mirror a lot of what John said. I think it's a story you'll want to see to the end. It is expertly written with interesting characters, and the kind of like the central mystery of the game is like, you know, what has happened to bring about this what is it, dystopian world, what happened, and in the way it tells its story through a lot of time traveling and time jumps is very, very effective. And yeah, to John's point, it's one of the best narrative games out there right now. That being said, the game is so full of friction. It is just, if you don't know how to play games, you're not going to play this. You're not going to get through it. You're going to get stuck, and it's a shame.
It's a gamer's game. Like, you really have to understand what you like.
Right. It's almost like when I talked about how, you know, in the Dispatch game, they removed all the third person parts. It's just giant cutscenes and decisions. And I wonder if a lot of this game could have used that, and then maybe more people would have seen it through to the end.
Did you get frustrated navigating the orchid?
Oh, the central hub, of course.
Yeah, it sucked. I was like, dude, like how you guys should, like, there's maybe I can explain this to you properly. For those who haven't played it, this might seem weird, but like there's a part where you have to like walk through like kind of a curved glass area, like through plants, and there's always a character on the other side of that fucking glass, and I always forget every single time how to get to him. I'm like, why isn't there just a door here? Just put a door here. It's like I don't need to navigate this thing.
Yeah. Stupid. Yeah, it's very confusing, and the HUD doesn't help. Like I said, the friction in the game is insane. There's this one section of the game where you have to unlock responses to talk to this other being, and the game doesn't tell you that. I just noticed when I went to talk to them, I only had 2 responses, and both responses wouldn't work. I'd be kicked out. And then I realized, I go back, I talk to people. Oh, now I have 3 responses. I go back. I'm like, I'm missing 1 response. I have to go back, got all 4 responses, answered the 4 questions correctly because I had all the responses.
Yep.
And I'm like, if I wasn't a gamer,
yeah, fuck this.
I would just be like, what the fuck? What do you want me to do? Because the game does not hold your hand at all. And I think any of the moments where you're navigating the game can be quite frustrating. It just doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
And that's combined with its very PS3 look to it.
Yeah. It's both. There's parts of the game that look great to me, but like others that's like, yeah, you didn't even try here.
Right. And so so there's a lot of things to get through just to try and digest and enjoy this story, but as John mentioned, it is worth it. It is worth sticking through. It is worth seeing the end. There'll definitely be some of your most, like when we talk about like games being forgettable, a lot of that is because it's just so generic and it's the same old thing. Big epic boss fights. You know, we've done them 1,000 times if you've been playing games as long as we have. But I think there's a lot of payoff moments where you're like, oh shit, and stuff like that. And like one of the best narratives in the game, I think, is your main character, or the character who you're reliving all these flashbacks with, Iris. Her parents' story is incredible. That could just be a movie.
Yeah.
and it'd be a low budget, 2 people stuck in an apartment movie, and I would absorb it. There's a lot of stories like that in this game. So I'm in the same boat as John. I don't think I'm going to give it an 8, but I still think it is like one of those games. If you can get through it, the payoffs are worth it.
Yeah, yeah. There is a you that remains and remains and remains.
I know. We should be remembering all their mottos. It's like 6 to 1, spear to square,
like
red to blue.
hair.
Yep, hair to hair. Red to blue.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of good mottos. Hecky Grace.
Hecky Grace. Hecky Almo. Hecky Grace. Hecky Almo.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's you got to be kind of sci-fi oriented, heady. Really, when you digest a story, you get like analytical about it. You look for the themes of things. If you're that kind of person, like it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a story that, like, I mean, I finished the game and I'm instantly like, I'm watching reviews. I'm going to subreddits to try and like see what other people are talking about it, which is not something I normally do when I beat a game. Yeah. But yeah, my curiosity to what other people are saying, what other people interpreted the story to be, and it's great.
I'll be interested in what Sunset Visitors is the developer. I'll be interested in the next game for sure.
Yeah. If I was to say anything, it'd be like, you don't need as much gameplay.
Yeah,
like
tone it down.
It's a smaller. Especially the problem with the orchid that you're talking about is also it's so big and so scarce, and it's not full of there are interesting things in there, but because of its
you're just always trying to find a person. Like
right.
I'm just trying to find a person. It doesn't matter where you are. Like
and the graphic quality being what it is, it's not that fun to go around or look around. But I think if they could just tighten all that up, I think this would have been easily standing with the other best indie games for sure.
Yeah. There's it was special, man. It's I'm just looking at stills of it. I'm like, oh yeah, I really, really like this. And I had another point I was going to say, but yeah, special game for me.
Yeah, no, it is a special game. It is. I know video game writing takes a hit, and understandably so. You have to write a game where the player has agency, as opposed to a movie where the viewer has no agency.
Yeah.
So I understand how hard it is, and it is impressive how well written this is. This seems like it came from a very personal place for whoever.
It did. They're from, I believe they're from Hong Kong, so like they lived through the Hong Kong riots and all that stuff, and like obviously you see that in the game. But there's like some themes of the Asian diaspora, which diaspora is like the scattering of a group of people across the world, right? And that the Asian people, that's more them than anything. So I think it examines all that and whatnot. But
yeah, it made me think about a lot of things, like a lot of people, they stay in their area because of the support group, right? Like John, you have your family. Like there's no way could you imagine you're like, I got a cool job in China, I'm going to uplift my whole family there. It's like you lose all your babysitters, you lose all your friends and family to help you out. Like if your car breaks down, you can't call a friend to come get you. It's scary, and it's like one of the smallest of topics in this game, but it talks about it, and it made me think about it. And yeah, there's a lot of appreciation from a perspective I'm not too familiar with.
Yeah, living here in the United States, despite current climates, there's not a lot of people that are often like, I need to leave here just in search of a better life. Like that's not really a vibe you get here, again, despite what you see in the news today. So yeah, to kind of like, the idea that, we're moving to Toronto. Oh my God. I have to get a new job and a new career and a new everything. And maybe this won't work out. And I don't know, but we have to try for my kids. It's like,
right.
And that's, again, to Nick's point, this is not even a major theme of the game.
No.
But I think talking about this game, and part of the reason why it's a special game is because, to your first point, I talked about this game for 25 minutes. I can already tell our conversation about this game. It just starts. You start to talk about things that's like, oh yeah, that was impactful, and this is impactful, and like I liked what this did, and so,
yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
Yeah,
I was nervous about it.
Yeah, like I said, I think if they could just tone down that friction, and that bums me out so much. Like I think you had mentioned in that episode where we talked about it a lot, that it came to Game Pass and a bunch of people tried it and then rejected it, and you're like, "Fuck, that sucks."
Yeah, that
sucks that you did that. So, I recommend it as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's. I think the crown jewel of games that I've recommended to you, where you like came back and I was surprised, is still Danganronpa. I don't know if that'll ever, because when I played that game, I was like, this is the most batshit thing I've ever seen in my life, and then I just talked about it.
That first game's amazing.
And then I think I remember you coming back to work, and I was like, wait, you're playing it? And you're like, yeah, it's awesome. I go, oh. So I was happy when you liked this one too.
Yeah, didn't I just? I thought I just did this to you too. I don't remember what game it was. Maybe over the past.
Neva
years.
Was another one. Yeah, you did. What did you just?
Oh, thank goodness you're here's one.
That's one. I played Cocoon. I liked it, not quite as much as you.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, when it happens, it feels good.
Yeah.
Especially when like this is a stretch.
Yeah, exactly. I hope you like it.
Stretch.
All right, and so the game that I have recently completed is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, little ditty of a game. And I know I'm not going to sit here and uncover everything.
Didn't make your game of the year 3, so.
No, it didn't, but it was very close. I mean, it was probably 4, like if I were to say that. But
and 1,000 times resist.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to approach this from a grand scale. We're talking about the combat. We're talking about how it looks, anything like that. I think everybody knows how special this game is, how amazing it is. But I wanted to just kind of approach it from a different angle. And I just want to make sure that this conversation is not framed from a place that I don't like this game. I very much like this game. I very, very much do. But
nobody's going to come after you if you slightly don't like it.
I just don't want people... Well, I'd like it. That's the point. I just want people to understand that, like, wow, he just only had negative things to say. Like, no, we're just not going there because I'm not going to waste people's time. But I wanted to at least talk about the narrative specifically. And I think the narrative is really well done. It's a cool concept of... We're going to limit... I'm not going to go into spoilers. But I have to make one big spoiler. So if you are sensitive to that, please turn this off now, turn back in a little bit.
Hello there, this is Nick chiming in. When Jon mentions spoilers, he really is going to go for spoilers. He's actually going to spoil the 3rd act of Clair, Obscur Expedition 33. So if you have any plans to play the game, I recommend you skip ahead to about 1 hour and 38 minutes, and you should be good. Bye.
And here we go. The main twist of this game is that the Paintress's world is not the real world, right?
Okay.
So you find out that there's this family that exists on the outside. They're almost like gods. They have this ability to kind of create these manufactured worlds that they can go into where they're able to, create life like they want it. Amazing concept. Really cool concept. I like that. The problem that I have is that you spend the first at least 50% of the time, 60% of the time, getting to know these characters, cheering for these characters, wanting to make life better for these characters. And when you eventually get to this twist that Lune and Ciel and everybody back in Lumiere and all those people that you're fighting for, that were trying to get this curse that's been plaguing this land for 67 years, this big thing, and we're going out every year, and they never come back, and we're going to do it. And you find out that none of that really matters, where it shifts the focus pretty quickly to, well, now we're talking about I can't say their name, the Descendra family, and the trauma that they experienced at the death of their son, and how the Paintress is actually... Man, I'm spoiling a lot. The Paintress is not who we think they are, and
you're right. The big conflict is normally like world ending, right? Like everyone's gonna die in 33 years when this Paintress cuts down the age enough, right?
Yeah.
To a very Mael story, and all about her and what. And going forward, what with her and the revelations about her, and I understand where you're coming from.
And so like a comparison that I can maybe wrap my head around a little bit, it would be like if you get to the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie, right? You spend all this time with Frodo and Sam, and we're trying to save the world, we're trying to get rid of this evil, we're trying to get the ring into it, and you find out that this is just a fabricated world, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to care about this family that had their internal trauma, or whatever. It doesn't have to be a family; it can be just an outside narrative thing. And then I'm supposed to go, okay, well, okay, that's sad and all that stuff, but like, what about what's going on here? And I felt like the game didn't really do too good of a job of continuing to want you to care about Ciel and Lune and these people you've been with. And all of a sudden, I'm just supposed to feel bad for Verso. I'm supposed to feel bad for the mom and Renoir, where, like, you guys are fuckers, man. Like, you created this world with all these living creatures, where I'm supposed to be sad because your son died, which is a very sad thing. But that doesn't supersede all these living, breathing characters that, like, well, they just don't matter. They're just dolls. Fuck them. And, like, I found that a little... I don't know, like inelegant, I guess. Like, I know that grief is this thing that maybe it's just a thing. I've never personally had to deal with grief on an intense level. I know a lot of people have. It's a life-changing thing, where I know anecdotally there's people who have lost brothers and sisters and parents and things, and like, so this story hit them fucking hard. I get that. I don't know. I felt like the rug got pulled out under me, and all of a sudden I was getting ready to see what it's all about, and I like how it's formatted and framed. Just, it's almost like there needed to be a fourth act where it's like we're kind of going to explore, how Lune feels about all. Like, there's never a big conversation more than just like Lune gets mad at Verso real quick for not saying like the truth.
I wonder if the reveal wasn't a late game reveal, but maybe within the first 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Would that kind of change things? But yeah, for introducing a bigger concept late in the game, and you knew a twist was coming at some point, just not on this level. That I think it would have been easier to stomach had you, like you said, you're not as attached to these characters. But I do think, again, we're getting the heavy spoilers here.
I know.
The game's choice at the end, I think, is dealing with what you're referring to. Is like, can you let go of these characters that you've gotten attached to, and let them go, or will you hold on to them because you care about them and you can't do it?
Yeah, and that's a fair point. It's just, and again, that's why I was kind of a little heavy on the front. Like, I like this game. This is a good game. I felt like, some of the stuff didn't land the way it was, like, it landed for most people. Like, most people, like, that was maybe the shining best thing about this game was the narrative of it. And, different strokes for different folks, but
I do wonder, like, when we get a sequel that will have to deal with this, with these revelations and whatever they decide to do, that I wonder maybe you'll feel better when characters come back or whatever, because the idea that everyone's created and these people can create them means that these characters can come back at any time. Really, there's really no.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the paintress's abilities, right? But yeah, I mean, the music, I just want to real quickly, the music is GOAT tier. It's amazing. The combat is really well done. I did find myself getting a little tired where, like, just the main mechanic is always just timing up things. Like, I kind of got a little tired of timing up things when I got to Act 3 because of the narrative structure, like, where I felt like the rug got pulled out a little bit, and because I wasn't, like, itching to fight more things, I just beelined it to the end of the game, right? I
do feel it opens itself up to being comfortable in combat and then using that same routine in every combat encounter going forward.
And when I look for, like, robust combat systems, like, I like things where it's like you have a more of a limited move set and you have to master these things, as opposed to like Clair Obscur does what I love about roguelikes a lot, where it's like you can break that game open, which is pretty cool. Like, you start getting the Pictos and the Luminas and things like that, and you're like, at first you're like, these don't really impact a lot, but then you start getting more that synergize with things, and you can break that game wide open, and that's cool. But, like, it wasn't really what I was looking for with this one. Like, I just didn't land entirely. So this is a 9. This is a really, really good game. I wanted to just steer the conversation a little bit more on something that I didn't hear a lot of people talk about, which I'm maybe a little bit surprised. Like, I think this game is exceptional, but like, seeing everybody putting it in their, like, favorite games of all time list, I find a little strange personally. But please put in the synopsis of this one that there's spoilers for this game, because I will feel horrible if somebody writes in saying "fuck you guys."
No, I'll do a chime in.
Okay, cool.
I'll chime in
if you can do that. That would be great.
Yeah.
So that was the big game of the year that I needed to clear off my backlog, baby. So let's go. That's why I got some time to play some Arc Raiders. I'm not going to get into that today.
Yeah, fair enough. But we can get into teases now. Arc Raiders. I just earlier today you were I walked up to you and you had the screen of all the gear and loot and builds, and I was like, I don't like this person at all. I'm walking out. I don't like this John.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like this John either, but it's where I am. It's what I'm doing. The zeitgeist got me a little bit, but also, it was just it's going back to the Fortnite with my son has been cool. this game got amazing reception. It seems similar. Let me give it a shot. And I've only really been playing it solo so far, but there's a lot to like about it. I'm kind of excited to talk about it and learning a little bit more, of a genre that I know nothing about. Like I had to watch about an hour's worth of YouTube, like experts on this game, kind of just like, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be focusing on. This is your goal here. Because like I jumped in the first time and I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, you're not supposed to kill other people? Okay, what are we... Am I really just getting garbage? Yes, I'm getting garbage, spoilers alert. But
Well, you can kill people. It's just... Or there's a risk.
I know. But yeah, we'll get...
They might have really cool shit, but you might lose your shit.
I don't want to be an asshole,
Yeah, I know.
But so we'll get into that. I just started playing, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Shinobi. Still playing Shinobi.
Okay. All right. Yeah, John is chugging along.
Yep.
He's a new man.
Yep. Well, I mean, I don't have to like sacrifice, like, oh, I can't play video games tonight because I got to go play with my boys. Like,
Right.
2 birds, 1 stone.
That's true. Okay. All right. And as I mentioned, we're at a DEF CON 1. Xbox Developer Direct can happen and be announced at any time, and we can at least discuss. Like I said, there's a lot of Xbox games in the ether. It's interesting what games will be there. I'll be very excited if Fable's one of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder if they use it as some sort of like PR move because, like, again, if that report is true that they're laying off 22,000 people, oh my God, that's a bad look for Microsoft. So maybe you don't want to be like, hey, we got video games, guys, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I mean, you
kind of have to.
Business moves as usual,
100%.
Despite layoffs. So, all right, wow, what another great show.
Yeah, killing it.
Hopefully, you're as excited for 2026 as we are. As unlike last year, it sounds like a lot of these games are coming out in February. That's nice.
Yeah.
Some early games this year, Saros in April. Like, that's good. I want games to play. So
yeah, you need to.
Since I'm on that in that valley still. But I did beat one game. I got one game under my belt and then a platinum. So not too bad. But all right. We thank you for listening. We love you out there. Write in. What are your most anticipated games of the year? What are your predictions? Between the joysticks at gmail.com. We'll read you on this very show. But until then, we will see you next week with Up to 6 Things. Bye.
Later.